NRPA Innovation Labs are events held in cities across the country that bring together urban park and recreation directors, city leaders, nonprofit organizations, and academic institutions to discuss emerging challenges that are facing park and recreation departments across the country. Our next Innovation Lab is in January in Miami, Florida. South Florida is one of the most vulnerable areas in the world when it comes to climate change. Sea level rise is a very visual threat. They see it every day. Flooding, more frequent and more violent storms are all facing the area, and Miami-Dade County Parks, Recreation, and Open Spaces is fully part of the conversation to make sure that Miami is adapting to these threats. During the NRPA Innovation Lab, we'll be going to many sites throughout Miami-Dade County, including Matheson Hammock Park, which is one of the lowest lying parks in the Miami region. We'll be looking at how coastal engineers made a plan to help the county create assets for the park, including mangroves, different barriers, how to rebuild their structures in the park, including their restaurant, to make a stronger plan on how to adapt to climate change. We'll also be headed to Deering Estate, one of the expansive, gorgeous parks in Miami-Dade County that is a protective area of 8 distinctive ecosystems. Has beautiful buildings that are resilient to climate change and is in a very low-lying area. The park has worked very hard throughout many violent climate events, including Hurricane Irma, to bounce back and make sure that the park is available for surrounding residents, even just a couple weeks after violent Category 3 and 4 storms. In my opinion, one of the coolest sites that we'll be visiting is the University of Miami's Rosenstiel School, where they have a new hurricane simulator, and just for this event they're going to be bringing that simulator up to simulate a Category 5 hurricane and show attendees exactly how they're using the simulator to help both the Miami-Dade County and other areas across the country simulate how their structures in parks and open spaces can adapt to different conditions during violent storms. We will be discussing how agencies that attend this lab can bring back the examples to their own communities and face what other climate change issues, other resilience issues that are facing them. Especially in Miami, it's a unique case because those coastal areas are the most high value, high property value areas, and it's a little bit easier for them to gather the tax income to be resilient and put in the structures that you need to do to be resilient to climate change. But our data shows us that lower income areas are typically the most vulnerable to climate change and in need of resilient strategies. So how do communities across the country face this issue and make sure that they're adapting and getting the tax revenue that they need? And how can park and recreation agencies be part of that conversation? We're certainly not expecting to solve this issue in just a few days during this lab, but we will be equipping our attendees with valuable information and strategies and tools on how to bring the resilience conversation back to their communities. Here at NRPA, we're really excited for this Innovation Lab, and we really hope that you'll be able to join us. We know that this is going to be a very exciting lab. It's also going to sell out soon. We've had a lot of interest, so make sure you go over to nrpa.org and register today. We hope to see you in Miami in January. Not a bad place to be in the winter.